Hey you guys, it's Kegyok and I'm back at it with another YouTube video that is hopefully very long, but I'm not sure yet until I'm done recording. This is going to be hell recording, but I will endure through sitting and letting my brain melt. Maybe I'll end up talking a lot slower just so I can make this video as long as possible. Anyways, my inspiration for this video is so that you can hear me talk about the most boring garbage about my life or random thoughts I have while you do something else. I honestly never understood the appeal of podcasts or audiobooks since I like having something interesting to look at while I listen, but I finally kind of understand. A lot of my 9 to 5 job is sitting and doing a monotonous task for 2 to 3 hours at a time. And honestly, I get bored listening to the same songs on my playlist after 10 times. By the way, that means if my average playlist is between 1 to 2 hours, and let's be real, maybe I listen to music for like 6 out of the 8 hours of my shift, I listen to that playlist somewhere between 3 to 6 times all the way through, which means I could listen to that same playlist somewhere between 15 to 30 times since I work a Monday to Friday schedule. Like right now, I'm going through another whole playlist while I sit here and like write this during work. That doesn't mean like I'm slacking off right now. I'm going through a trap stain protocol, which means I have to get up every 5 minutes to change out the solution for my sparkles femur slides. That also unfortunately means my stream of consciousness is interrupted that often. Anyways, if you made this far, do you see the appeal of this? Like, you don't have to commit to watching anything on the screen, and all you have to do is listen to me talking your ear off. Yay! But going back after 5 hours and checking on this script, I wonder how awkward it will be reading a script that I wrote earlier in the day. I also want to express how this would be a way for the people who are listening to hear my day-to-day thoughts. I can barely even keep up with streaming once a week, which is very sad. But using this way, you can hear my thoughts and everything, and no, I think about content a lot more than the 2-hour stream that I struggle through. I have so many ideas and aspirations that I want to reach, but taking the first step really is the hardest part about starting everything. It's so tiring, it's so daunting, like who am I even to try accomplishing things? It's so scary. Like, what if this video is a complete flop and I end up wasting multiple hours writing this script and hours recording myself speak? I want to edit the video too, so what if I spend another 5 hours listening to how stupid I sound? I hate listening to my voice, so what if I bear through with listening to myself for no reason? It's actually been really bad and really good with my thoughts regarding work, which I will get back to in a couple more sentences. I'm probably going to look back at this and wonder what the hell I was doing. And yeah, I am looking back at this and wondering what on earth am I writing right now? I've been spending more of my time listening to random videos, and the thing that bothers me is that a lot of content creators I like show what they are doing, or like pictures about what they are talking about. And honestly, this makes sense because YouTube videos are designed for watching, not listening, hence why podcasts and audiobooks are getting more popular and not on the YouTube platform. But now, if I want to see what they are talking about, I'd have to try scrolling at a later time to look for a particular scene. Like, it's been okay with podcast style videos, but it's pretty sad when I'm listening to animate my story type of videos. Like, I mainly watch those for how good their story time and animations are. But obviously, I can't just take out my phone and prop it up on my desk and leave a video on while I work. Or unless you guys can, then good for you, but many employers would agree with me that it's distracting or a hazard. Like personally, I don't even like carrying my phone on me or on the tables here aside from my personal desk because it will get contaminated. Like your phone and my phone, they are already incredibly dirty from just existing alongside us. But since I work inside of a lab, I'm working with biohazardous materials, things that can cause cancer and other diseases just from having exposure, and things that just have distinct sense. Like right now, our lab smells like bleach because some person made a mixture with bleach and left it in the sink to die. I literally just use xylene, and that also has a very distinct scent. Like the last thing I want are my personal things carrying lab residue or scent with them. Also, in general, if something bad were to happen while I'm conducting an experiment and I don't have my full attention on it, that can also risk problems for me. So all in all, I'm just trying to say no videos for me unless it's that end of the shift drag where I can do anything because I completed everything and I really, really, really have nothing else to do, so I just have to wait until it's time to clock out. But let's be real. I'm worried my coworkers will judge me, so I do things like this, where it looks like I'm working really hard because I'm typing a lot, but in actuality, it's all personal stuff that has nothing to do with work. Like yesterday, I legit spent an hour of my shift on a spreadsheet, not work related, but related to my finances, because it looks better than straight up playing a game on here. Or maybe I'm just really overthinking all of this and no one cares. Like, I personally wouldn't care if my desk mate was scrolling on Instagram or playing a game, especially if they were done with work. But why would I risk looking like I don't care when I can pretend to look productive? I was getting worried about in what direction this video is going to go in, but then I realized I can make stupid transitions like the one you're listening to and just talk about whatever I want. But since I don't really want to talk about something way out of topic, I'm going to talk about jobs and work life. Plus, this also means I can give this video a title with a relevant topic to at least organize my videos. So, random life event. Before I go on and continue about jobs, I just got a message from FedEx that my package was delivered and received by me. And by the way, you needed a signature to receive this package. What's extra funny is that my parents are at work today, my sister's in college, and I don't even live in the state that the package was sent to because I'm temporarily working in another state. So I don't know if FedEx is even thinking, because when it tried getting sent yesterday, it got sent back with the FedEx person because there's no one at home to sign it. But yeah, FedEx has some real balls to be saying that I'm the one who received the package because I live over 1,000 miles away from home right now. Okay, anyways, continuing on with my existence. The thing I really like about my current jobs compared to my last job, with an exception to my work-study job in college, is that I don't have a strict dress code. It's casual. Like, I can technically wear shorts to work, but, you know, with the exception that if I'm working with something that's really dangerous, then, like, you know, long pants is a must. Regardless, because I got the lab safety stuff ingrained into me during undergrad, I always wear long pants, like leggings, jeans, cargo pants, and then I wear whatever t-shirt is comfortable on top. It's been so nice compared to my last 3 retail jobs where I had a dress code to follow. And I know that 3 retail jobs sounds a bit concerning, but they were all summer jobs and I didn't see the point staying somewhere for more than 1 summer after I obtained all the skills that they were going to show me. Plus, the work environment in many retail jobs isn't so great, so a new change of environment for every retail job was nice. My first retail job was more high-end, so I had to wear dress pants and a blouse. And my second and third retail job had specific colors I had to wear. And of course, they were colors I didn't have in my closet, and I definitely did not have multiple copies of that color. And now, in my first big girl job, which is the one I'm in and talking about, another benefit is that I'm not interacting with customers. Sure, there's like novelty and excitement with talking with people who come into your store, but let's be real. A lot of people are not fun to deal with and it gets really tiring after a week. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean I'm not interacting with people at all. I still have coworkers and higher-ups to take orders from, and that also gets tiring. I'm not cut out to work where I'm forced to interact with people. I mean, don't get me wrong, my coworkers are nice and the work environment here overall is peaceful, but the time I get to myself is almost minimal. Like, geez, Kagyeong, it sounds like you have a lot of time since you're able to rank this during work. Like, there possibly can't be anyone to bother you. I'm talking about true alone time where I'm not surrounded by people. I get maybe 2 hours. 1 hour before work and 30 minutes during lunch where I can just think to myself and not worry about anyone around me and do things that I like to do by myself. And now that I realize it, that's actually 1.5 hours. But anyways, maybe this is my true introvert side showing. By the way, a lot of people think I'm an extrovert when I meet them, since I show this very opened up and excited side of me, but I don't think people realize how important that time is. I don't live by myself, so I like to savor the moment where I can just think about myself and what I want to do. Truly, my most creative ideas and aspirational thoughts come from when I sit by myself and I can think about what I personally want to do. I'm the most motivated when I have no one around me. I'm not sure if anyone else gets that feeling, but the desire to grow is only there when I'm alone. By the way, I think my trap stain failed again, and this is my third time doing it, so I'm on the brink of insanity. Maybe I'm not cut out for this 9 to 5 lifestyle. By the way, I have to redo the trap stain for the 4th time, and I'm actually going to break into pieces. The main issue that I am facing right now is actually how long imaging under the microscope is going to take. Like, I need to take 15 pictures per slide, label them, and save it as a correct file type, which doesn't sound like it'd take that long, but it does. And I'm redoing 12 slides. I might redo imaging on 4 slides. That's 16 times 15, or at least 240 images. By the way, life update. It took me 4.5 hours to image all the slides, and I clocked out later. Oops. Sometimes I wonder if I'd be willing to do YouTube or Twitch streaming as a full-time career. Like, obviously, I haven't quote-unquote made it to that point, but, like, what if? Honestly, I'd get burnt out. Thinking of ways to engage viewers and making sure your audience is here for the long run is very tiring. Anyways, emotes were originally something I looked forward to when I first became an affiliate, but now the thought of making new emotes is scary to me. The thought of making new things is scary to me. Like, what if my audience doesn't like it? And what if I can't make something even better than my current setup? My 2nd anniversary with streaming is coming up really soon, and I don't even know what to do. I've thought of many stream ideas, and I don't have any information on how to set anything up, or some of the ideas take too long to set up. Like, what if I quit my current 9 to 5 to just dedicate my life to content creation? I'd end up dreading it, probably. I definitely have loads of time to figure out all my technological problems, but I'd also probably want to spend that time elsewhere. Like, I can romanticize the idea of going to a cafe to spend hours on working on a new background or costume for my model, but why can't I do that right now while I'm sitting on my chair? Like, let's be real for a second. I'd romanticize a 9 to 5 job if I were actually stuck at a cafe right now trying to think of new ideas for streams. Why can't I just romanticize what I'm doing right now? Like, look at me, in a salmon pink t-shirt and leggings, hair tied back into a low ponytail, gracefully takes a sip of water, typing away my thoughts, glancing at my phone once in a while to check if I have notifications, and checking over some lab notes before the timer goes off to tell me that it's time to redo the same experiment that I've been doing since 3 days ago. What? You're telling me maybe that's the reason why I'm not romanticizing this moment? Because my brain is sick and tired of doing the same experiment over and over again? What? No. To answer my own question, if I make it big, I'd still work, maybe part-time. Content creation is not steady, and an important value to me is stability, and I'm saying this with so much confidence, even though I'm going to give up this stability and try looking for a different job in about a year, where I might end up in a worse environment with barely high pay. Wouldn't that be ironic? I just looked at my script so far. Bruh. I just looked at my script so far, and I just realized that I don't even know where I'm going to record this or how I'm going to edit it. I don't even have video editing software, and I haven't edited anything since high school freshman year. Anyways, current Kegyuk talking. Yeah, so how I'm recording this, I'm not in a studio. I'm literally on the bed. I'm just staring at my script and reading it out loud. And editing it, I'll figure it out eventually. I guess, yeah. If this thing does get edited, it has to, though. I've already made so many mistakes. Anyways, back to talking about jobs. I realized the double-edged sword of retail. On one hand, you always have something to do, but you constantly have to be alert. But on the other hand, like my current job, yeah, I need to be alert, but sometimes I just have to exist. Like, I can't leave early even though I'm just sitting at my desk, which does sound nice, but there's been this sense of guilt associated with getting paid while doing nothing. I guess this is what some people would refer to as toxic productivity. I always have to be doing something or I'm just not worthy of being here. Like, no joke, I am so lucky that I even got an interview and then the whole job here. So many applications sent just to get an interview with one person. Like, don't get me wrong, I know I have the qualifications to be here, but what if I but what if I took this job away from someone who is just as qualified and now they have to suffer through applying? Again and again and again. That time of my life was miserable. It's like a more serious and chill version of college apps. Like, thank God, I can apply to many jobs, but oh shoot, I'm kind of screwed if I don't get any jobs, and now I'm broke. College is more like, I know I'll get in somewhere. I don't know where, but oh my God, my tuition is scaring me. Also, look now. I have nothing to do. I have 2 whole hours left in this shift, and now I'm doing nothing. Like, bruh. I legit asked my manager if there's anything for me to do, and she just tells me to relax. But man, I have 2 hours left here. Like, I don't mind sitting down doing nothing, but like, I can watch a video and chill. No superior here. That's too much power. I'm getting paid to sit here and do nothing. This is insane. I wish I could remember half the thoughts I have here, lol. It's another day and I'm so tired. I don't know what this feeling is, but I feel sad and tired. I'm thinking it's because I didn't get enough sleep, but really, how much sleep do I need to function? This is stressing me out a ton. I know I slept at least 8 hours, but waking up and even functioning in the morning has been getting very difficult for me. I'm starting to realize that I do not want to work in an academic environment. I have such high anxiety when people are looking at me doing things or when I'm talking to the main person who runs the lab, aka the PI. Like, I knew since last week that this week was especially going to be hard because I'm going to be learning a lot more things, but this is so tiring. All I want to do is curl up into a ball and sleep forever. The idea of knowing that you are sleeping or going to sleep is such a peaceful idea in my mind. But when I'm actually sleeping, it doesn't feel real. Like, it was so short, those 8 hours I got today, and yet I feel so sluggish, and getting myself to work feels like ripping off a giant human-sized wax strip off my existence. Like, why do I feel this way? I couldn't possibly be burnt out. I play games after work. I eat good food. I sleep. Like, I'm doing everything in my power to exist well outside work. It hasn't been that long. It is currently the night after my Power World stream. I read through my entire script, and almost 4 pages of script takes me about 15 minutes to read. And oh my God, I sound incredibly depressed in my last paragraph. And honestly, I laughed a lot. I deep down know that this is how I'm going to feel in less than 12 hours on a Monday morning at work, sitting at my desk and contemplating my existence. I really just want things to work out and to enjoy my life. There are so many things to look forward to, and I want to be excited for them. But then I think about work and question all the motivation I had for enjoying life. I should be more proud of myself for managing a 9 to 5, gymming, taking care of myself, and trying to manage what most people would call a quote unquote side hustle. But man, why does it feel like I will never do enough? Is it because I have to constantly worry about how my Is it because I have to constantly worry about how my current job is not the end goal job? Is it because I'm contemplating on going back to school to get some useful certification? Is it because comparison, the real double life, is sapping away my happiness because I look at other people around me and they're just doing so well while I struggle with even trying to gaslight myself into thinking that I'm doing enough? I really don't remember living being this hard. Is it so much to ask that making enough to live on my own comfortably is truly enough? Why is it that the people in society around me ask that I keep on striving for something that I legit do not care about? And by the way, you guys, this is how real I will get in this video, because the reality is that you all are enough. If you're happy, then it is enough. This is always easier said, and this honestly sounds like a me issue that I have to deal with at some point. I was honestly very proud when I got my current job, but no one else seemed to care because it wasn't enough. Of course, anyone could tell me that as long as I'm happy, then it's okay, but it doesn't get rid of the years and years of constant reminders that it's never enough. Okay, I hate how society has deduced down to thinking that Gen Z is lazy and that we are taking things the easy way, trying to be influencers, and how everyone is an influencer. And even though I understand where they are coming from, these quote unquote influencers are able to make a living and everyone consumes their content. Everyone consumes their content. Content. It's work. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber, TikToker. Well, it pays well, and people have to edit, write scripts, and put on the outfit to get to that point. I mean, I know some people might translate that into quote-unquote, oh, screw school, I'm going to act very entitled to everything, and everything will work out because I have a million subs on TikTok, which is probably what other generations see and refer to when they think of Gen Z. But honestly, I can respect the grind. The satisfaction of seeing your small little shop that got really popular through YouTube Shorts or TikTok is a feeling that I cannot imagine. I want that as a cute little side hustle. But also, a lot of people look at me like I'm going crazy and tell me that I'm wasting my time and that time can be better spent doing something else, like a Google Tech certification I don't need. Well, that's obviously only until it becomes big enough, and then they will brag about how they know you and about how hardworking you are. Now that I think about it, this kind of reminds me of that 121 Pilots song. You should check it out. By the way, you probably already know it. It's called Stressed Out. I don't even know what I was going off on at the end there, but here I am again, dreading work. I'm just waiting for sadness. Sunday Scaries really hits hard when you wake up and figure out Monday reality actually exists. All I'm thinking about now is how I'll get to go home and play Power World and Genshin. I have 7 minutes to relax before I clock in, and I know what's coming for me, but I don't want to go through today. So obviously, if I'm writing again today, it means I have some time. I just clocked in and put my solutions in a nice warm environment so that they can warm up a bit. I have about 10 minutes. I have to change my cell media so that they don't starve to death. And by starve to death, I mean like the cells don't starve to death. I have to do a Western blot and image my Dappy slides from last week. Oh dear. This is going to take the entire day. Actually, I just realized if I do all of that today, I'll have nothing to do tomorrow. My manager and PI aren't here today and tomorrow, which means I have nothing to do. If I end up finishing everything, I might just clean up the lab tomorrow, autoclave some stuff. I had a random thought about here versus everywhere I worked last night, but why is it that I can never remember the thoughts I want to remember, even when I tell myself to remember them for later? Oh yeah, my motivation to even stay in this job or any job. Money. I'm finally getting paid soon. And this is one negative that I can confidently say about my current job. I only get paid monthly. And a lot of people might argue for how that's a good thing, since many subscriptions and fees are due monthly. So when you get your check, you can set it to just take the money away from your paycheck and the rest is for you. And that's a good and logical reason as to why that might be a good idea. But to me, it means the reminder to why I'm working only comes once a month. All my other jobs, it was bi-weekly and I had something to look forward to every other week. I can rationalize that even if I don't get paid this week, I'll get paid next week. But a whole month means that I have to wait 4 weeks, which means it feels like I'm working for free until that check comes in. Other people might have it even luckier, where they get paid weekly. But that brings me to another topic that I have to talk about. If you can imagine, all my friends are the same age as me, so some of them are pursuing more education and some of them are taking on jobs. The job market is hot garbage right now. And among the jobs that will hire you, there are so many shady listings. And I mention this because I'm envious that one of my friends gets paid bi-weekly, or not bi-weekly, they get paid weekly, and another friend gets paid bi-weekly. But then they remember both of those friends don't have health insurance or get paid holidays. The one who gets paid weekly also doesn't get any PTO, and the one that gets paid bi-weekly can't even access PTO until at least 3 months of employment. I should feel very lucky that the place I work at allows you to use PTO on the first day of employment, and has many benefits and gives you floating holidays, which basically means free PTO. They also adjusted their accrual rates to make it better for employees. And also, current Kegyo update, because enough employees actually were complaining about the monthly payment, we are also getting onto a bi-weekly schedule at some point. So yeah, that's another benefit. My company is doing so well. By the way, a quick change of plans today. My solutions weren't heating up, so I decided to run the gel first. And it was a lot more chill than what I expected to be. Very slow process, and most of the steps are more just of setting it up. I already did the most stressful part of the Western blot preparation, which was making the samples themselves, because I had to calculate the reagents for each sample. One thing I didn't realize about this job was that a truckload of math is involved, because you need to calculate the amount of reagent that goes into your sample, or you have to make very specific concentrations of solutions, or sometimes your experiment failing or not failing is a matter of 1 microliter difference. Also, change of plans. I got the cell culture done, but the Western blot was basically completed by someone else. I was hoping to get more hands-on this time, but the instructor told me that this data was really important, so I ended up watching them. Future Kegyo update, by the way. Yeah, the manager and PI told me that this data was actually not that important, but it's fine, it's whatever. That honestly made my day much more tolerable, though, because I just watched him. I finally tried out the Indian place for lunch in the building, and that was fun too. But then when I got to the imaging portion of my day, I legit spent an entire hour in an email correspondence with my PI about how he wants the images done. Except he wasn't clear, and I was on the brink of wanting to explode. It's like he had a thought and then forgot what he wanted to say, and then ended up not answering any of my questions. Literally the master at deflecting. Like, man, I'm not here to think for you. I'm here to do things without thinking. Literally what my job description says. There's a reason why my paycheck is a lot lower. I'm getting paid to be a monkey typing random letters on a screen. No thoughts, only instructions. Shout out to the postdoc who helped me understand the emails I sent, though. Yeah, she literally broke it down for me one by one. I don't even know how she understood anything on that email. So I eventually talked it out with my PI and instructor, and the instructor of the lab went through the process with me. Now that I've done all the work and imaged the slides for that mini experiment, I have time now. He hasn't replied back to my email, and honestly, since the experiment itself takes at least 2 days and you need to image within 48 hours, I will push this off until next week. Because let's be real, you cannot convince me to come in on a weekend unless I really, really have to. It's actually kind of illegal that they expect students and lab faculty to come into the lab on weekends. Like, obviously, I understand that science is science. You can't just make things go on your schedule. But students stay here until late hours, come in earlier than everyone else, and also on weekends. Just in case you're thinking about getting a PhD in biology, let this be a story you think about before committing. I also heard this student get chewed out by the PI. Like, meetings are supposed to last 30 minutes, not almost 2 hours. Why the student did so poorly and mocking their existence. That was hard to hear, though. And I wasn't even the one getting talked to. The student was okay afterwards, but I felt really bad for her. I still have about 3 hours left in my shift, and I don't really have anything else to work on. Not repeating the experiment, but now I get to clean the lab. Started another small experiment, messed that one up already. Oops. I want to die. Oh, I want to DIE. I moved jobs already. This job has so many different ways of messing up. Like, how can you even trust me to do this? I'm so dead right now. I was honestly having a good day until this point. It's so hard to let go of mistakes. Like, there's no way I can get my experiment on track like I was supposed to, but geez, I feel bad. Today was an exceptionally miserable day. The mornings feel like garbage, and I already had 2 nightmares. One where a creepy man was trying to follow me back home, even though I thought he was a nice but weird man, but then I ended up running away. And the other dream was being trafficked for, and basically being on this metaphorical leash whenever I was out and about and trying to find a way to escape the situation. As I put this into writing, I'm starting to realize that my nightmares are having themes, and it's really unsettling. Like, escaping and running away are the main themes that I didn't notice after I woke up from the nightmare. If many things... What on earth am I reading? Oh. It makes me reflect on what's going on in my life. And man, I know I've been stressed out about so many things, but this is a new extreme. Like, my subconscious mind is telling me that I'm a bit too stressed, I have to work on applications if I decide I want to study more. This company process all the charges despite only working on one order. By the way, it means like, man, they took 3 times the amount of money that I was supposed to spend. And future keg yolk update, I had to dispute the charge. And also, the kidney that I needed for one of my experiment disappeared into a void because I made a mistake. Oops. And also, future keg yolk update, that kidney did not matter, so I'm very happy. And about that kidney, it made me realize that mice are very replaceable. I told my manager about what happened, and she responded with, "That's okay, because I brought you 9 more to dissect anyways." Like, we have no shortage of organs, unlike in the real world. We don't grow humans to harvest them for one part of an experiment that's not even completely planned out. Like, I feel like I wasted a life. Not that I would have had one to begin with, because lab mice only have 2 routes to life. It's either, death, or the 1% chance that it escapes because whoever was handling the mouse handled them incorrectly. Needless to say, the latter doesn't happen very often, but it happens once in a while. And then I genotyped all the mice, figures out none of them are even what I'm supposed to be looking for, so I had to throw everything related to that experiment. I had to throw out all 9 mice. Breeding for specific genes is a lottery. for what the lab is looking for, it needs to be positive in one gene, and within the letter, it needs to be negative and positive for a completely different gene. The chances are low, and everything is betting on how mice are able to have such large litters. What I find particularly annoying, though, is how I have to prepare all the samples before I find out what genotype the mice have, and then throw everything, anything away, like related to that experiment if it isn't what the lab wanted. Like, I'm pretty sure I wasted about 2 hours preparing samples that might have to be thrown out anyways. Like, that's kind of insane. I skimmed through this entire script again, and it's getting kind of long. I think what I'm planning to do, since this is how I write, is to take brief pauses between paragraphs, so you know when my stream of consciousness was interrupted or when it was a completely new and different day from the last paragraphs, just so I don't sound crazy and that I go through a million emotions within a short amount of time. I swear everything should somewhat be interconnected, but I guess I'll figure it out when I read and record the script. My goal is to post this audio on YouTube on the day of the actual Kegyo anniversary as my gift to you guys for always bearing through with me, and honestly hold myself accountable and stop procrastinating every single project I had a vision about. So let's see if I actually hold through. Future Kegyo update. I'm literally recording this the day before the second anniversary stream, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh dear, I wish I did this a lot earlier, but now I'm just trying to rush through the script and I feel like I sound really stupid right now. And that's the end of the episode called Jobs. I don't know. It seemed like it was mostly about my job, so I will uncreatively title it that. Thank you for listening in. Bye. Okay, so anyways, I guess I wrote one more time. Oh my god, this is so funny. I don't know why I wrote bye, even though this is in the end of the script. Okay. So I've been able to hold on for this long because the experiment I was working on was taking this long. I finally got to lunch, and now I'm left with a lot of residue thoughts. I dreamt about how someone I care about got murdered, and you can imagine how stressful that can be. And then I felt inadequate about my existence. I sat at my desk and realized, wow, I'm really doing nothing. Is it okay to not have aspirations or passions in your life? Is there a point in having passions when there's no one to support you, or if there's no reason to have that passion? A lot of getting a job are the assets you can bring to the table. I have many things I can do, but it really brings nothing to a job's table. What if I'm following a passion incorrectly? Who cares if I know the beginner's guide to a passion when there's another person out there who's using the advanced guide? What if what I'm doing is not enough? It's never enough. Is this the trauma that gets instilled into children when they are young? The constant need to one-up and people please, and you don't receive your parents' validation, which obviously means no one will accept who you are. You'll never be loved because you will never be enough. You know what's an even greater way of scarring your child? By comparing them to other people around them. It's a mighty fine, awesome way of keeping them constantly comparing them to others and having them question why they are not enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm really just trying to exist, but existing isn't enough. What if everything I'm planning for the future goes down the drain? What if I chase a passion just for it to also go down the drain? I guess this is where a difference in mindsets would appear. Some people can pick themselves up, but I have a feeling that I would end up despising anything I truly want to chase, because everything's going to go down the drain anyway, so what's the point of starting something to begin with? But that mindset also sucks, let's be real. That's some actual doo-doo thinking. I need to do things because it makes me happy, but then I think about how doing things that make me happy are wasting time. And that is actually the end of my script. I think that was I think the last paragraph I wrote was actually supposed to be a preview for something else, but I don't really want to continue that thought process. Obviously, like when I look back at my script now, like I can tell like how scatterbrained I was, because obviously this is like a script that took almost like a whole month to write. This is one whole month like worth of thoughts. A couple thoughts got left out because work picks up and I have more tasks to do at other points in time. But yeah, man. Anyways, guys, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not even sure what I was even going off on, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed whatever this garbage was. And if you bear through all this, yeah, thanks for bearing with me, because I had a really rough time even reading this out loud and wondering what on earth I was doing. Anyways, hopefully if if this goes well, I'll post another episode of Random Thoughts. But anyways, guys, bye.